Deadly Tarantula Girl, coming to you from Mondoggieville with Chris Curtis, as you probably know very well by now. Tonight we're doing a special video with an animal that is near and dear to my heart. This is a species of cobra called the Egyptian banded cobra, also known as Naja annulifera. So, a viewer asked when I did the video about the bucket lid, which this has already been unscrewed because this cobra is way too big to be pulled out of this little area. They asked what this hook was for on the top. They asked if that was for suspending the bucket, and although you could, I think the handle would make more sense for that, but that was a great question because if you have a venomous snake, you do not want to reach over and put your hands over this lid and pull the lid off, which the lid is already unscrewed. What you want to do is you want to use your hook, which I use the hooks from Midwest Tongs, as you know, and you want to hook this lid open. But before I do that, I'm going to make use of the window that is in this bucket lid, which I have seen locking bucket lids before, but never with a window. And I do love that I can look in there first and see where this animal is, because they're often curled around the rim of the bucket. And what happens when you open this lid, and I've seen it, I've seen video of it, people reach down, they lift it off, they get bitten in the abdomen or right in the hand. And so, number one, I'm going to look in. This cobra's at the bottom of the tank, and then I'm going to step back and I'm going to hook this lid off. I'm going to hand this off to somebody else. Thank you, trusty assistant. And now I'm going to use my hook to bring this animal out onto the table so you can take a look. Now, you might notice, obviously, this animal is called the Egyptian banded cobra for very obvious reasons. It's Egyptian, it's banded. You can also take note that it is quite beautiful. This is not an aggressive species, in my opinion. It is blue right now, but you can still see that it has a very beautiful lavender hue. So I love the colors on this animal. It's a nice pale banana yellow with the beautiful lavender banding. Now, since you are what I consider a venomous expert, Chris, what do you know about this species?
Well, we're trying to breed them. This is one of our males. This is a young male. We probably won't hook him up until next year. This species is, in my opinion, as you stated, one of the most beautiful cobras. They are great. They're not aggressive, normally very mellow. And they do become very thick, heavy-bodied specimens.
In that case, I would probably use that bifold hook or one of those awesome python hooks, which are very handy for heavier bodied snakes because, as I've mentioned before, putting a very heavy snake on a hook like this, or a hook like this little tiny one, would kind of be like trying to swing on dental floss. It might not kill you, it might injure you, but it definitely would not feel good. When those Egyptian bandeds do get heavier bodied, that would be when you pull out your beefy hooks. And for the record, I do not recommend you tailing any venomous snake unless you're very comfortable handling venomous. I don't show venomous very often on my channel because I feel like sometimes when people see me doing it, that they might have the false impression that it does not take a professional, and it does.
One other thing you might add is these specimens do come in almost a solid color as well. This is the banded form.
Is this an egg layer or a live bearer, Chris?
These are egg layers.
What temperatures do you plan to incubate their eggs?
I believe I'd have to do some homework on that, but I think it's as most common between 84 and 87 in that range.
Nice.
I'm not positive on that. I have to do homework on everything we do because my retention levels are slow sometimes.
Well, I've told people before, you are one of my friends who I value so much because I think you've already forgotten more than I will ever know. You are so knowledgeable. That's why I love hanging out with you. You're like a walking encyclopedia.
Well, Deadly Tarantula Girl, I appreciate these compliments. You're embarrassing me.
All right, well, I think we'll put this little baby back away. And so what I'm going to do is have 2 sets of eyes on this snake.
I would say you are clear, man.
Nice. On a side note, historical evidence shows that it was actually this species of snake that actually killed Cleopatra, not the asp. This snake is a Cleopatra killer, so watch out. But they're actually quite docile and beautiful. Just use caution. Made sure that animal was at the bottom of the tank, and then I can use this hook again to twist it closed, and my hands are clear of the side of the bucket. Make sure that the locking mechanism is secure, and now I can safely transport my Cobra with confidence, knowing there's no way it's getting out of this bucket.